Welcome to Ajatella, the show that transitions you from think to change. And today we have with us Pastor Koi. She's a teacher and a pastor as well. Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you so very much. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we're speaking about getting out of the cave. How do we overcome self-pity? Because there's so many of us who have gone through different situations that have led them to a cave. You know, they're in a dark place. They're in a place where they're feeling, you know, how do I get out of it? And this show is just for you. So my first question to you would be, how does someone overcome self-pity?
I think the first thing to understand or to clarify is what is self-pity. And I learned from the dictionary definition, it's when you have obsessive thoughts about yourself because of things you feel didn't go your way or challenges you faced. Probably you feel like you were wronged, or your rights were interfered with. And then you sit and now it's basically self-absorption. You're at the place where you're not excited about what's going on, who you are right now, and the issues that you're facing. So it's a tendency, it doesn't even happen over, let's say, seconds. It could be minutes, even hours, sometimes even days. And when you're at that place of feeling, I couldn't do it, why was I even trying? What's the point of having to go on? So the issue then, you sit with it, it percolates, it bakes, it just takes over your thoughts, your mind, your emotions, your will, and even your actions, and sometimes even walks into your relationships, walks into your work. So it affects every arena of your life. So self-pity is actually very negative. It's a deterrent, and it's a detriment, really, to you as a human being. You can't look at yourself as a whole person. You're just looking at yourself as the mistake or the issue that you faced, the problem or the challenge. So it can be a very dark place. It can be a place of weightiness and loss. You feel you can't go on, you can't step forward, you can't think beyond where you're at. I've been there, and it's self-judgment that is really harsh. You are your judge, you're your jury, you are your prosecutor. You basically sit on all those seats and you can't see yourself beyond the mistake. Walking through that, you don't realize how sometimes because you failed in that one area, then everybody else should feel your loss. So everybody gets affected by your feelings. And sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's unconscious. Just the other day, I had to deal with something and it didn't quite go as I expected. You know, where you have productivity that you're expecting, all the work has been put in, and then nothing shows. There are no results. And with the people you're dealing with, they're thinking, it should have worked. And so I had to sit back, and because it used to be my modus operandi, I almost went back there. And then I had to wake up and say, okay, guess what? I couldn't force those people to be here. The circumstances, notwithstanding, were the way they were.
You've done your best.
I've done my best.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can a human being do? You know, because you also have to check yourself. Did I put in the work that was needed? Was it what I should have done? And it's important to have that self-check when you're getting through that instance of self-pity. Sometimes the problem is having to know, was this me or was it them? And then learning to separate the issues. And then what happens is you can, like I said, it's two-sided. You can actually beat yourself down until it affects you, and you don't know that unconsciously, you're affecting everyone else around you. So this dark cloud over you is absorbed by so-and-so and your family and the people you're
around
with
it wherever you go.
And sometimes it could be so unconscious, but you're almost having everyone pay for your issue or the pain.
Oh my.
And so they are there taking it in, and they can't come out of understanding why you're acting the way you are. Self-pity is also very selfish. Let's just be very honest. It's absolutely selfish, because I jokingly say it's you and the pity having a tea party with your dainty cups and you're clicking them and and saying, oh my, oh me, what have we done? This is just bad, and you sitting there harbors very negative emotions. And we've realized, even as with now the advent of self-care and mental health, it actually is so detrimental that if you allow it to sit long enough, it will begin to affect not only just your emotions, but even your physical being, because of the negative chemicals that keep coming up because of that. Sometimes it's even as bad as the continual motion of being in self-pity will drive you to a place called depression. Case in point, being one who, coming from a pastor perspective, you read the Bible and you read the story of King Ahab. He was coveting somebody's vineyard. And when being the king, he thought, let me go up to this man and tell him, you know what, I'm the king, you know what to do, hand over. And the gentleman refused. And he went and sulked. The whole king of an entire kingdom went and sulked in his room like a 5-year-old. And the Bible says he faced the wall and was mourning the fact that he couldn't get this land. And his wife had to come and tell him, how dare you, a whole king, think of yourself as nobody. Do the needful. But you see, it was because he needed to get it for himself. He didn't even care about this man, whether it was his inheritance for his children, how long had he worked for it, had he even gone ahead to, say, manufacture whatever he wanted to, maybe it was the wine or whatever. He didn't even think about that. It was about what he needed at that point. And it's so self-absorbed, you don't think of anyone else except you in that instance.
Wow.
So you are at a place of being not only a detriment to yourself, but everybody else around you. And because it is selfish, you will sit on that seat and everybody else must bow at that throne. So it gets to be a very weighty, very dark place. And understanding it and knowing it gives you the leverage to be able to know what to do with it.
Well, you have said so many things, and I just want to begin to unpack some of the things that you've said.
Yes.
As you're speaking, one of the things that we have realized from self-pity is that the word pit comes from pity. You know that when you are in self-pity, it's like you have put yourself in a pit that you can't be able to even, get out from. Even if you think about the Bible and the people in the Bible who are in pits, like Joseph was in a pit, Jeremiah was put in a pit. Anyone that is in a pit can't see the light. You're not able to say that, I can't get myself out. So what do I really do about it? And I think anyone who's watching us at home and is in a season or situation where it is so dark that you can't see yourself clear. You can't see, the situation clear because you're thinking to yourself, how do I get out of here? We are here today to say you can overcome self-pity. That, as you've said, you sit and say, okay, woe is me, life is not going how I should, maybe I lost a job, I lost a marriage, I lost a relationship, what do I do next? We're here to say that you can overcome it and take the next step. So how do you move from self-pity to progressive change? That's my next question to you.
Because now for me it was experiential. I've been through it, I know what it's like. It was actually having somebody explained to me that this was wrong and it was killing who I am and what I'm supposed to walk into. And they pointed it out. And when they did, I had to sit down with myself, basically call myself to a meeting and say, okay, so you're here and this is what it's like. Why do you keep walking into this? What keeps triggering this? So the first thing to do is understand what triggers self-pity. Why do you feel that failure is such it's not even a middle ground, it's not even a center, it's the end. That you can't move from there. Number one, know what triggers that self-pity. Number two, be kind to yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, be your best champion, be your best cheerleader, be in your own corner.
Yeah, wow, very good.
Be in your own corner.
Yeah.
I would say it this way, and it was said to me by my mentor, be present in your own life.
Wow.
So it's addressing you and where you're at. Number 3, please quit the blame game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
Yes. Quit the blame game. It's not the government.
Yeah.
It's not your parents. It's not the economy. It is you. Learn to separate issues. What did I do? When you know what the issue is and your personal responsibility, then you know what to deal with.
Wow.
You've called like I said, you've called yourself to a meeting. Yeah. This is my issue. Yeah. I'm the one who brought this upon myself. What do I need to do? Mistakes should never be the end of it all.
Wow.
They should be a place of learning. It's a place of growth. I would call it a trampoline. It's where to bounce back from. So I made the mistake, or I made the wrong decision, or I walked into the wrong relationship. So what am I going to do? Wow. So you've categorically called it out. You've learned to be your own cheerleader, stop the blame game, and number 4, just grow.
Wow.
Yeah, just grow. Are you going to keep making mistakes? Yes. Are you going to walk into pitfalls that you shouldn't? Yeah. Yes. Will you make wrong decisions?
Yes.
Yes. As long as you're human and living on this earth, you are going to make wrong decisions.
Wow.
So that is where the self-awareness comes from, being kind to yourself. Wow. No matter how much you want it for me, until I want it for myself, there's no change, you know. I learned something just to wind up on this thought. If I can't call it out, I can't challenge it. Wow. If I can't challenge it, then I can't change it.
Wow. Please repeat that.
If I can't call it out, I can't challenge it. If I can't challenge it, I can't conquer it.
Wow.
So I had to learn that the hard way. Because for me, it was a personal journey for years. Okay. So having to learn to come out of that, and now learning this. And then I'd say number 5, I believe in therapy.
Okay.
Yes, I said it as a pastor. Yes, I believe in therapy. I believe in talking. I believe in having someone else be my sounding board. Wow. So that I don't carry with myself negative emotions. And sometimes that's a challenge, especially for us in the pastoral realm. You know, we are always having to give. Yeah. So sometimes we do not know how to take and receive. And even just how to let go of the negativity and the things that you're feeling about yourself, because you can't give from an empty space, and people don't absorb from your mouth. Whether you're in the corporate world, whether you're in the teaching field like I have been, or whether you're in the pastoral field like I am, people don't get from your mouth, they get from your spirit. So what's coming out of it is jagged edges, rough, you know, sandpaper. So it's important to know how to consult to find someone to talk to, and I've had to do that, and I thank God for that, because it's helped me a great deal to deal with a lot of stuff.
Wow. You know, she has said so many good things, and we're going to bring her back, you know, for another conversation, and just to be able to unpack this further. And, you know, even as we tie in our thoughts and we begin to conclude, what I take away from this is, you know, even if you are in this place, take responsibility. The very first show that we did on Ajatella was on Own Your Madness, that you are the only person who can change your life. True. You know, stop pointing fingers. It's bad for everybody, but the day you begin to take responsibility is the day you change your life. So make a decision and move from there. You know, that's my parting shot. What's yours?
Be present in your own life. Be aware. Be kind to yourself. And take away the lessons that you need. Let it be sugarcane. Take what you need, throw out what you don't. Because that's how to live. Otherwise, you will have to keep carrying. Many of us are carrying things, burdens and weights that we really don't need. And it's affecting so much. And our productivity in living, the essentiality of just being you, the essence of being you is being affected. If you could just take a step back, breathe, and let yourself be. Because the letting go is the hardest, but there's such freedom. If you can do that to yourself and for yourself, you will be a blessing to everyone you meet.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll continue this discussion. Thank you so much for watching Ajatella, from Think to Change.